Have you ever felt that shift in the sales call where everything clicks and you just know they're going to close? Now flip that. Have you ever watched the energy drain from their face and in a split second you knew you lost the deal? It's not chance. It's not luck. It's pure psychology. There's a reason why the best closers in the game, they win consistently. And it's not because they follow a script or they've been in the game forever. It's because they understand the psychology behind every word that they say, every pause and every shift in energy. And if you're not closing at bare minimum 40% close rate each month, you've got a lot to learn. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 steps that when used properly can help you close every single deal. Not because you're reading from a script, but because the prospects sold themselves. If you don't know who I am, my name is JJ Hernandez. I've led sales teams for Iman Gadzhi. I've worked with Alex Ramosi, Ashton Hall, Daniel Isles, and I've personally closed over $10 million in cash collected over the last 7 years in sales. And I'm here to help you get better today. Jumping into it. Number 1. If you've seen one of my videos before, I've mentioned this plenty of times, but scriptless selling. This is probably one of the most important things. I'll give you a perspective, okay? You want to think of scriptless selling like dating. Sales and dating are very, very similar. Let's say you're going on a date with me. I show up, sit down, and I'm like, so, how many years have you been working at your job? You're like, I don't know, like 3 years now. It's anything I've been doing for a while. And I'd say, yeah, wait, how many boyfriends did you have before coming here today? What the fuck are we doing? If we wouldn't do that in real life, why do we think that's going to work in a sales call? That relationship, that date, just like a sales call, is transactional. That's what dating is, transactional relationship. It's a benefit for you and for them somehow, some way, but you guys are committing to each other on that point. Now, on the other hand, the transactional sale, monetary value, money, you guys are committing to each other. They trust you, they believe you, right? You're selling yourself to them, why they support you, transference of belief. So all that to say, the perspective I'm giving you is, if you wouldn't do it on a date, why would you do it in a sales call? The scenario is exactly the same. Transactional sale. What do we do? It goes against how humans make decisions. It's inauthentic. It's kind of cheesy. But at the same time, like, why would I trust you if you're just reading words off of your computer screen? Like, you're not listening to me. What's the point of a sales call? You need to help me understand me better than I understand myself. That's why I will give you money. That's why I'll give you 10K. You understand me better than I understand myself, right? Now, the expectation you gave me on that sales call should match with the service you're delivering. Same thing on a date. Expectation of who you are and what you are on that date should match when we're dating long-term. So that way I do commit and stay with you long-term. It's that simple, guys. So scriptless selling. Yes. Now, not every closer does this. This is more of like a modern approach, if you will, but that is the direction of where sales is going. You need to understand the process of sales. Yes, I will preface that. I'm not saying here you can just jump in and just use your intuition and magically just figure out how to close somebody. Absolutely not. That's a big misconception people have about scriptless selling, that you can just get better without any structure or any process. That is not true. If anybody tells you that, that's bullshit. You do need a process. You do need structure. You can come off of a script eventually, yes. You're not magically good at dating. You might go to your first date and fuck it up. You might go to your first sales call, fuck it up too. That is normal. Allow yourself to be bad. That is the direction of where sales is going. If you do not go in that direction, I'm not telling you you're gonna be left behind, but you will notice a big difference between your close rate and the people who do follow this and go in this direction's close rate. And you also see how much better their life is in comparison to yours. Just say, good at sales, you're good at life. So let's check this one out. Scriptless selling. That is number 1. Number 2, future state to current state. People will buy more from pain than they will buy from excitement. Would you run faster out of a burning house, or would you run faster to your dream house? Question's probably pretty obvious. You know the answer to that. This is the most predictable way, the simplest way to get somebody to understand their gaps between where they want to be, where they are now, and nobody wants to stay in hell. So of course, if your solution pushes them in that direction, they will run towards it. I'm like, fuck yeah, I need to get out of here. That's the most simple mental model. I have a longer video on this, guys, so I'm not going to go too much into detail about this. This is just kind of like a list of what you need to be doing. Understand that, get it. It'll help you a ton in your career. Let's move on. TikTok pitch. Do you know what that is? You shouldn't, because if you've never spoken to me, you've never seen me before, that should not be a thing. You should not know what that is at all, because it came from me. I trademarked that bitch. That's mine. TikTok pitch. Understand it, okay? What is this? The most interesting thing you will ever see. I promise you guys. Oh my God. 45-second to 2-minute pitch. All right. 45-second to 2-minute pitch. I want you to understand something. When I was with Daniel Isles, I was a closer, then became a sales director. We were selling programs ranging between $30K and $144,000 on a 1-call close. I remember being in Alaska with Daniel, and we watched one of my calls, and there was a guy from my hometown. We sat down and watched that video, and he was like, dude, your discovery is great. How did you not close this guy? I was like, what the fuck? I don't know either, man. I mean, like, this is a great discovery. I don't know. You tell me. And we sat down there, really dissected the process. Come to find out, the reason why I didn't close was because of the pitch. It was too long, right? Shout out to Oren Clough. He said, and this is actually kind of going against teachings, but whatever. He said, hey, if your pitch is longer than 5 minutes, that's incorrect. That's wrong. Because if you guys understand scientific finding, the secret of life, in order to explain that scientific finding, the secret of life, it took them 5 minutes to explain it. Your pitch is not more important than the secret of life. Understand that. It is not. That is very, very true. So 5 minutes or less. Now, I actually disagree with Lauren. If this was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when I was on Iman's team, yes, I would tell you 5 minutes or less is great. Under 5 minutes is even better. Why? What happens is a few things. Number one, because we think if we add a fuck ton of information, that it's going to add more value. It actually devalues you because it's, let's say I'm coming here. All right, man, just to understand how this program works, man, we're going to teach you sales, but we're going to come in here. And then what we're going to do is going to make sure we're going to figure out if your objections, if you're struggling with objections, it's a little like this. And we're going to help you improve this and improve that. And then on the other hand, when you jump into the portal, you're going to learn about what discovery. You know what discovery calls are? Does that make sense to you? Do you understand what that is? No. Okay. Discoveries are this, and this. And then once we go through the discovery calls, you're going to need rapport, right? When you're like, hey, man, how you doing? Great to meet you. We're going to help you understand how to be able to subsidize that time you spend there to win them. Okay. And like, that's like 30 seconds right there, but it's so fucking much. And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you saying? But regardless, the whole point is, that is bullshit. And that's 30 seconds. Imagine 7 minutes of that. Are you going to listen to me? Absolutely not. You are not going to listen to that. It does not make any sense. What does that have to do with results? Absolutely nothing. What does Hermosi say? Sell a vacation, not the plane ticket. It's so fucking true. Because if you're selling the plane ticket, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about anything else. What's the result going to look like? So if you're pitching for more than 5 minutes, there's no way you can talk about results for 5 minutes unless you're talking about like the minute, most minuscule, not important, dumb shit. Why it works is because you didn't understand. In discovery calls, what are we doing during discovery calls? Answer that question, guys. What do we do during discovery calls? Ask questions. Yes, but what is the absolute purpose of asking the questions? Do you know? You probably don't fucking know. We ask the questions to make them feel something, to make them recognize the pain and goals they do not realize they have. Okay, they need to feel these emotions. So what does that mean? That means at the end of your discovery, emotional buy-in is at its peak. Psychologically, neuroscience proves you make decisions based on emotions and compensate logically. They need to feel something in order to buy. Okay, understand that. So when it's at its peak at the end of discovery, if you fucking sell for 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes on this freaking program on how it's going to work, and they check out, their emotion is just slowly dwindling and dying down when that pitch is too long. You're getting tactical. You're explaining this. You're explaining that 4, 5, 10, fucking 37 pillars on how we're going to resolve your issue here. I've heard this before. I don't give a fuck. What are the results? That is the focus. The results. What are the results going to be? You can do that in 45 seconds to 2 minutes. What I want you to do is you can read the book, The Psychology of Sales. Okay. If you understand that book, take the 3 most valuable things that you have inside of your program, subsidize that into a pitch. Okay. And work on, if it's 5 minutes, work on bringing that thing down to like 2 minutes. What I'll do is I'll drop a video below of my own closer. Or even I can drop a video of myself doing a TikTok pitch and breaking that down for somebody. I'll drop a video of that below, or maybe I'll make another. I don't know if it's out yet or not. If it is, cool, find it below. If it isn't, I'll make it, and you guys will have it next week. And I remember being in Alaska and watching this fucking pitch of me pitching for 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. And the guy was from my hometown. It was a great discovery, perfect discovery, $36,000 deal on the line. And when I got to the end of the call, we both recognized, holy cow, I lost him because of the pitch. And it's so funny because the pitch is where you think you get more buy-in. But if you're pitching for an hour, you're going to lose them. They're going to be, I don't need all that stuff. That's not worth $10K for me. That's not worth $36,000 for me. That's so much stuff for the things I don't need. And so the talent of being able to pitch well and pitch efficiently is one, brevity, word economy, subsidizing your pitch, making it smaller, making it shorter. On the other hand, too, is that when you do this, you're influencing that emotional buy-in way more than you would if you were to pitch for 7, 8 minutes. Because again, emotional buy-in is at its peak at the end of discovery, and the longer you pitch, the faster it drops. Remember that. That's the TikTok pitch. Moving on. If it comes from you, it's shit. If it comes from them, it's gold. That is why we ask questions during sales calls. We ask questions because that will get them to respond and tell you the things that they believe, want, desire. And what you don't realize we're doing, it's technically a discovery. It's a self-discovery. People need to uncover these things themselves to feel like they've accomplished this and this is their decision. it's coming from you and it's influenced by you, they feel like they're making the decision because of you and for you, not making the decision for themselves, which people will do not like to make decisions that are not for themselves. People will do what's in their best interest. And so if it's in their best interest to move and get out of the, like, this is why we understand. If you understand going back to future and current state, okay, heaven and hell, that separation, it's in their best interest to do your solution because nobody wants to stay in hell. But they need to recognize that and realize that themselves by the questions you ask them. That's not just going to come from you telling them. Like, if that was the case, you could just be like, all right, man, so welcome to the call today. What I'm going to tell you, I'm going to explain to you exactly why you need to come to our program. Tell you exactly what it is. So number one, you're a fat loser, man. I'll be honest. I can see your fucking man titties hanging off the screen right now, to be honest, dude. But you know what? That's why you're here, because we're going to change your life. You're going to come in here, and we're going to make you lose 37 pounds, and you can pitch for 37 minutes, and then you would close people just because your pitch is that convincing. It does not work. It doesn't work anymore. It's not how it works. Okay? Question-based selling is the best way to sell. We don't question the validity of why we ask questions during sales calls because it's proven to work time and time again, right? It's backed by science, backed by neuroscience. The way you influence people is through the questions, so they come to decisions by themselves and understand that they move on because of their own conscious decision just by the questions you ask for them. So that's why the questions you ask are what position you as the biggest expert on that call. If you ask dumbass questions, you're a dumbass on the call. If you ask expert level questions, you're an expert on the call. So if it comes from you, it's absolutely shit. If it comes from them, it's gold. Less statements, more questions. Moving on. Last one, sit in silence. Pretty uncomfortable, right? Shows you how powerful silence actually is. This right here, sit in silence, is my favorite thing. It's a tactic used by lawyers. What is that? Cops, interrogation officers, interrogators, detectives, whatever the fuck those guys are. Learn to sit in silence. It is key. Because think about it like this. If you ask me a question and I sit there, I'm like, that's a good question, Brian. You're going to be like, I asked him a good question. Feel pretty good about it. On the other contrary, you give me an answer and I'm like, okay. Do you think that was the best decision for you? You're going to be like, oh my God, such a good question. The silence adds the emphasis. I mean, learn to shut the fuck up when people are actually they're selling themselves, because people will do that. Like, yeah, well, you know what? I could kind of do that. And they're like, yeah, well, what are you thinking? Tell me what you're thinking. It's like, no, dude, that's where you got to shut the fuck up. Like, you don't have to sit there and be like, the price is $37,000. You know, and like holding your breath and shit. Like, that's stupid, bro. Drop the tension. Let them feel comfortable. All right, you've been in the close a million times before. Are you going to do that? Like, all right, so are you going to date me or what? It's like, dude, what the fuck? I can tell you, dude, if you're not good at sales, you're probably not good at dating either, bro. So work on both, man. Sit in silence. I promise you, man. You'll get more respect for it. You'll appreciate me for it. You'll make more money because of it. These 5 things, I could charge you $10K for this, buddy. And it's free. So, Scriptless Selling, you've seen that a million times. Watch it again. Understand it. Future to current state, understand it. TikTok pitch, try it on your next call. Let me know your thoughts. If it comes from you, it doesn't mean shit. If it comes from them, it's absolutely gold. Perfect. Understand that. More questions, less statements. Last one, sit in silence. Make it uncomfortable. Try it. I have to tell you, a lot of these principles you can apply. Well, you can't TikTok pitch in real life, but like this, do it off of your sales calls to improve on your sales calls. Trust me. That's magic. You'll see that. Slow down your cadence. You speak too fast, slow it down off of your sales calls. You'll see it improve on your sales calls. All right, that's it for today. If you haven't already, we've got a school community under sales.io where everything we're doing lives. It's where the real stuff happens. Extra training, call breakdowns, rep sharing, wins, questions getting answered, all of it. If you're in sales and you want to be around the right people, it's where you need to be. So check out the link below, and I'll see you inside. Take care.